What you want to say is we need to much more focus on presentation skill or negotiation skill and debate skill.
Yes.
Sort of thing, right?
You cannot only get by having a high level conversation.
So,
you also need to,
for example, okay, I'm supporting for some consulting company. Okay, your managers need to study presentation skill, negotiation skill, and better communicate with customer.
Absolutely.
Oh, great! So you told me last Saturday you're going to try to remind me again about negotiation something.
Negotiation, yeah.
You did prepare material something like negotiation?
Yeah.
Oh, it's good, right?
Right. Right. Yeah, so I don't think that actually in the Japanese context there is a lot of negotiation going on, especially during the implementation phase of a project. I don't think that project managers are trained to negotiate in Japan.
Oh, it's a good point. So I thought this is English negotiation skill, English presentation skill. Instead, I think Japanese need to study presentation skill. Presentation skill means more better understanding to their CEO, and the negotiation, how to negotiate in the case of some problematic issues coming out, sort of things, right?
Right.
And also, this kind of study should be followed by Westerners way.
Right.
Right.
So this is very important. Project management is not only just making sure that you deliver on time within specifications and just follow whatever the customer wants and try to allocate that work. That's very simple. Actually, as a project manager, you need to control it. That means that you need to basically balance the interests of your organization with the client organization, and always saying yes will lead to problems with your own people. It will also lead to problems with the customer, because the customer cannot always assess very well what is in their best interest, and just saying yes will lead to substandard results. So you have a responsibility as a project manager to be a very strong and negotiator, and the strong negotiator also needs to have these soft skills to actually later on have a drink with the people and say, okay, so yeah, we have a different interest, but that is what divides us, the different interests. But on a personal level, we could still see very well eye to eye. If you always say yes to a customer, there's no need to drink with them, because they might feel happy. Only later on they might discover that they got something that they asked for, and that's not in their best interest.
So your opinion is okay, how to make better communication with customer people with the trust. It means we need to get more skill for presentation, negotiation, debate skill, right?
Right.
Yes. How do you judge the kind of skill level for Japanese people?
Very low.
Very low.
Very low. But but I think that's not fair. My judgment is not fair, but I feel that there is a completely different perception of project management in Japan as compared to the Netherlands. Being that basically in Japan there is very often a tendency to follow 100% on what the customer wants. That means that if the customer wants customizations, we will do customizations. The customer wants delivery by the end of March, then we will do delivery by the end of March. We don't look to the existing capacity. We just force people to work longer, harder to do changes that actually do not add any value. It's just because the customer asked so. So, and then at the end, we send them a bill because we made those hours, the customer requested it, and then, so we're going to send them a bill. We are working our people, our own people, to the ground, and we are delivering something that does not, in the end, deliver a lot of customer satisfaction. But that is I don't think that's a good situation. In a good situation, you should be able to say sometimes to a customer, no, this is not in your best interest. This is not what we agreed to. We cannot deliver by the end of March because that is basically within the scope of this project. We cannot do that, or we don't have the capacity to deliver on that, and it's not agreed to. So sometimes you need to be able to say no to protect your people. It doesn't always mean that by working harder you're working better, and you also need to make sure that the customer will not only be happy on delivery dates, but also after that. And I feel, especially in IT, that a lot of projects in Japan, they deliver software that will make clients ultimately unhappy because it's not maintainable. It is
oh, wait a minute. Not happy, you said, right?
Yes.
Why not happy? You said because not maintainable? What do you mean?
No, it's not maintainable. Almost every customer in Japan who has an ERP system has a system that is completely specific to that organization. So it can only maintain. Everybody sits on a legacy system because there are so many customizations in it. There are so many intricacies in it that the software must be a mess under the hood.
Oh, okay.
You cannot upgrade it easily. You need specific people with specific experiences because so many things are very specific to this customer that you cannot put any new programmers into this mess. So people work a lot and they work very hard and long hours just to maintain what they have, and it's not future-proof at all. So I don't think that a lot of customers are happy or should be happy with what they got.
Okay. Okay.
Edson.
Yes.
I have a question. So for most of the project failures, is that not a proper risk management?
That's a very good question. I would say some risk cannot be managed. So the foundations should be good, right? So if you start a project that doesn't have the proper foundations, that doesn't have the right budget allocated, that doesn't have enough people allocated, that there is no good match between the software you're offering and the organization that is going to use that software, then you can manage risks all you want. It's beyond repair. Already, it's dead on arrival, as we say. It's basically even before you get started, you know that you're not going to make the customer happy. So there's no risk management methods that could prevent that. Having said that, if you have a pretty good match with what the customer wants and what you're offering, then risk management can actually be very meaningful to actually keep everything on track. Because if you're heading towards the right direction, still a lot of things can go wrong, like a natural disaster or customer adoption or things like that, or people leave the organization, and that could be a risk, and these risks can be managed. But the risk management is not like a miracle medicine. It can only control the things that could go wrong on your way to to Rome. So if you both want to go to Rome and you both are heading for Rome, it's fine. But if one person wants to go to Rome and the other one wants to go to London, then risk management is not going to solve that.